In today's lesson, we'll be transforming sine and cosines, but before we start graphing transformed form of those two functions, let's go ahead and remember how the graph of a cosine looks like and how the graph of a sine look like. So let's start with the cosine. So y equals cosine x. Now, in order to graph the cosine, I'm going to be using the angles 0, pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, and 2 pi. Now cosine of 0 is 1. Cosine of pi over 2 is 0, then negative 1, 0, 1. So the graph of a cosine function looks like this. It's like a dip. Okay? And let's create the parent table, because we might have to use this as we're graphing different transformed functions. So 0, 1, pi over 2, 0, pi negative 1, 3 pi over 2, 0, and 2 pi 1. So that's the parent equation, the parent graph, and the parent table. So what would be the domain of something like this? The domain, so the graph continues on forever. This is just a part of it. And then the range, it goes from negative 1 to 1. It does not go above 1 or below negative 1. The period for something like that is 2 pi, because every 2 pi it repeats. And the amplitude is the distance between the midline and the highest point, or the midline and the lowest point. So the midline is going to be here, and then the amplitude would be from the midline to the highest point, which is 1, so the amplitude is 1. Now, after we reviewed how to graph the cosine, let's do graphs of transformed forms of cosine. So let's look at number 1. Cosine of x plus 3. So you see how we have a k value? So I'm adding 3. It means I'm shifting my graph vertically up. So then that means I need to shift my graph up 3. So when you're shifting your graph up, it means you're shifting your midline up as well. So the midline is not at 0 anymore. It is up at 3. So let's go ahead and sketch the midline. It will give me an idea how my graph looks like. So if this is 3, and this is 4, and this is 2, and this is the midline, remember that the parent function cosine x, it oscillates between negative 1 and 1. So if the midline is at 2, my graph will oscillate between 2 and 4. So cosine of 0 is going to be 4 in this case. So the angles are still the same. They did not change since I did not move my graph right or left. So cosine of pi over 2 is going to be 0. And the 0 line is the 3 line now. Cosine of pi is 2. 3 pi over 2 is 0. And 2 pi is 4, since it moved up. And still looks like a dip. So the sketch will not change. It will always look the same. But in this case, my graph just shifted up 3. The domain is still all real numbers. The range, it oscillates between 2 and 4. The period, it starts at 0, ends up at 2 pi, and it keeps going the same way, so that's 2 pi. The amplitude is from the midline to the highest point, and that's still a 1. So the amplitude did not change since there's no vertical vertical compression or vertical stretch. Now let's move on to number 3. In this case, I have the a value, which is 3. So that means that my graph will be vertically stretched by 3. So that means if usually it ends up at 1, this time it's going to go all the way up to 3. If it ends at negative 1, it's going to go all the way down to negative 3. There's no shifting of any kind. So then in this case, my angles did not change. So usually cosine of 0 is 1, now it's going to be 3. This is 0, that's going to be negative 3, 0, and then 2 pi, which is 3. Because usually the cosine of 0 is 1, but now I'm multiplying by 3. Cosine of pi over 2 is 0. When you multiply it by 3, it's going to still be 0. Cosine of pi is negative 1 multiplied by 3. Negative 1 multiplied by 3, that's going to be negative 3. So my sketch is going to look like a dip as well. And you see how it is vertically stretched. So the domain is still going to be odd real numbers. The range is going to be from negative 3 to 3. The period is still from 0 to 2 pi. So 2 pi. And the amplitude is from the midline. So let me sketch the midline to the highest point, which is 3 in this case. Now, number 1 and 3 were easy. I was able to look at the k and the a value and figure out how my graph is. However, for number 5, I would like to use the parent table and show you the changes on the parent table, since I have a b value and a k value. So let's start by sketching or writing the parent table. So for more complicated transformations, I highly recommend that you use the table, the parent table, and you apply the transformation to the table. You use the new points to be able to sketch the graph. So let's go ahead and start with the table. So the table is going to be 0, 1, pi over 2 and 0, pi and negative 1, 3 pi over 2 and 0, 2 pi and 1. Now, the b value is 4, so remember every time you have a b value, you need to remember to take the reciprocal. In this case, it is 1/4, so that means you have to multiply the x by 1 over 4. And the y value, I have a k value of 1, so then I create another column next to the y, and I need to remember to add 1 to the y value. Now go ahead and pause the video. Try to finish the table on your own. Plug in or plot all the new x values and the y values and figure out the domain, range, period, and amplitude. Take a minute or 2 minutes to do it on your own, and then watch the video again to check your answers. So now when I multiply x by 1/4, I will get 0. Pi over 2 times 1/4 is pi over 8. And then pi over 4. Then 3 pi over 8. And then pi over 2. Now when I add 1 to the y value, I get 2, 1, 0, 1, and 2. So that means that the highest y value is going to be 2. And the lowest y value is going to be just 0. So that means that the midline is going to be at 1. And my graph will oscillate between 0 and 2. Now let's go ahead and plot the angle. So I have a 0, pi over 8, pi over 4, 3 pi over 8, and pi over 2. And let's just plot the points. At 0 it's going to be 2. At pi over 8 it's going to be 1. And actually I can figure out how the graph look like, because it's going to look like a dip. And my sketch looks like this. So the domain for something like that is all real numbers. The range, it oscillates between 0 and 2. The period, it starts from 0 and ends up to pi over 2. So the period is not 2 pi anymore, it's pi over 2. Because remember, I'm dividing by 4. Okay, so my x value is affected. It's not 2 pi anymore, it is pi over 2. The amplitude is going to be from the midline all the way to the highest point. So in this case, it is 1 as well. So that's how you graph the cosine, the transformed equations of any cosine function. Now to do the sine, let's remember how the graph of a sine look like. So y equals sine x. Go ahead and sketch it on your own. I'll give you some time to sketch this. And to create the parent table. After you do that, make sure that you label the domain, the range, the period, and the amplitude. So pause the video and try this on your own. So at 0, the sign of 0 is 0, and then we have 1, 0, -1, and then 0. So it looks like an inverted S. So every single function will look just like the parent function. So let's go ahead and create the parent table. It will be 0, 0, pi over 2, 1, pi 0, 3 pi over 2 and -1, and 2 pi 0. The domain will always be all real numbers. The range, it oscillates between -1 and 1. The period of sine is 2 pi, and the amplitude is going to be from the midline to the highest point, which is 1 in this case. So knowing this and understanding this, let's go ahead and start sketching the transformed graphs. Now, if I look at number 2, I can tell that my graph is going to be shifted to the right 4. So instead of being 0, now it is pi over 4. Instead of having, so remember, the x values, they were 0, pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, and 2 pi. All of those are shifted to the right by pi over 4. So now instead of starting at 0, I'm starting at pi over 4. Instead of having a pi over 2, add pi over 4 to that, and you will get 3 pi over 4. Instead of having a pi, so pi plus pi over 4, that's going to be 5 pi over 4, then 7 pi over 4, and then 9 pi over 4. So if you think of the unit circle, the angles that you are interested in are going to be this angle, this angle, this angle, and this angle, and then you just repeat. So the midline did not change, it's still at 0, and the highest point is going to be 1, lowest point is going to be -1. So the pi over 4 represents the 0 in this case. So if I know that it's going to look like an inverted S, I know it's going to be here, 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 and then -1, and then here, because it will look exactly the same. It's just shifted to the right by pi over 4. So I didn't really need to create a table for this one. Knowing how the graph of the sine looked like and knowing that it's going to be shifted to the right pi over 4 helped me sketch the graph. The domain is going to be from -infinity to infinity. Range is going to be from -1 to 1. The period is still 2 pi because it's not being horizontally stretched or compressed, so the period is still the same. The amplitude is going to be also 1 because there is no vertical stretch or vertical compression. Now let's move on to number 4. So the a value in this case is going to be 1/2, so that means that my graph is going to be vertically compressed by 1/2, and the b value is going to be 2 over pi. So remember, you have to do the reciprocal. Okay, so for something like this, definitely I want to start with the table. So go ahead, create the table. The x is going to change by multiplying it by 2 over pi. So remember to do the reciprocal. And the y, you're going to multiply it by 1/2. So I only do the reciprocal of the b and not the a. So start with the parent table and apply the changes. Pause the video and try this one on your own. After you finish the table, make sure that you sketch it and figure out what the domain, range, period, and amplitude are. So the parent table is going to be 0, 0, pi over 2, 1, pi 0, 3 pi over 2, -1, and 2 pi 0. So if I multiply the y's by 1/2, it becomes 0, 1 over 2, 0, -1 over 2, and 0. Now, 0 times 2 over pi is 0. Pi over 2 times 2 over pi, that's 1, so the pi cancels out. Pi times 2 over pi, that's 2. 3 pi over 2 times 2 over pi, that's 3. And 2 pi times 2 over pi, that's going to be 4. So the pi canceled out. So now I have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It goes all the way up to 1/2 and all the way down to -1/2. So then the point is 0, 0, then 1, 1/2, and I can just fill it in because I know how the graph looks like. So then it looks like this. It should be vertically compressed by 1/2 and it's 2 over pi, so that's going to be also horizontally compressed by 2 over pi. So the domain is going to be negative infinity to infinity. The range is going to be oscillating between -1/2 and 1 over 2. The period, it starts from 0 all the way to 4, so that my period is 4. And the amplitude is going to be from the midline to the highest point, which is 1/2. Okay? Now let's move on to number 6, and I want you to do this completely on your own. But before you do that, I want to remind you, every time there's a b value, I need to remember to factor it out, because the h value is not 2 pi. My graph is not shifted left by 2 pi. So remember to factor out the 3. Now, did I have to do that over here in number 4? No, because there's no h value, so the h value is not going to be affected. So whether I factored it out or not, it's already factored out. Okay, so if you factor out 3, what will you get? It's going to be x plus. What times 3 would give me 2 pi? 2 pi over 3. So that means that my graph is going to be horizontally compressed by 1/3. It's going to go left 2 pi over 3 and down 2. So remember, when I'm creating my table, I'm going to start the table with you. So I need to multiply x by the b value, and then remember to subtract the h. So it's going to be 1/3 x minus 2 pi over 3. So remember, you do the reciprocal of the b and the opposite of the number over here. Now the y, there's no a value, so the only change is going to be subtracting 2. So go ahead, start with the parent table, create the new points, figure out what they are, and sketch it, figure out what the domain, range, period, and amplitude are. Pause the video and complete this on your own. Okay, so I'm going to start with the parent table. Okay, so I'm subtracting 2 from the y, so it becomes -2, -1, -2, -3, and -2. Now remember, you have to multiply the x by 1/3 and then subtract 2 pi over 3. So my new x value is going to be -2 pi over 3, -3 pi over 6, which is what? And then -5 pi over 3, -5 pi over 6. Okay, so remember, you need to simplify this. So -3 pi over 6 would be -5 pi over 2. So apparently my graph is going to be on the left side. So let me erase here because I need room. Okay, so it's going to be 0 and then -5 pi over 6. Since it's going to be shifted down 2, that's why I'm putting the angles on the top. So I will have a clearer graph. -5 pi over 3, -5 pi over 2, and then -2 pi over 3. So -1, -2, and -3. The midline is going to be at -2. Keep that in mind. Okay, so let's figure out what the points are. So we have -2 pi over 3 and -2. And then we have -5 pi over 2 and -1. And then -5 pi over 3 and -2. And then -5 pi over 6 and -3. And then 0 and -2. So you see the inverted S. And that's how you graph something like this. What's the domain? It's from -infinity to infinity. The range is going to be -3 and -1. Then the period, as you can see, it starts from 0 and ends at 2 pi over 3. So that's the period. That's one part of the graph, and it keeps going on forever and ever. So that's the inverted S, starting from 0, ending at 2 pi over 3. So the period is going to be 2 pi over 3. The amplitude is going to be from the midline to the highest point, which is 1 in this case. So I hope this video was helpful. Make sure that you rewatch the video if you need to. I'm going to be posting this on Google Classroom.